If you're the one everyone depends on, the steady one, the capable one, the person who handles it without making noise about it, I know that role. I know that role because I've lived inside of it for years. What it looks like to look composed on the outside while something inside of you is slowly wearing thin. And here's the thing. When you're highly competent, burnout doesn't show up as chaos, it shows up as consistency. The deadlines are met, messages are answered, everyone is cared for, plans are made, the plans are executed, even when a quiet part of you feels like something is missing. I want to tell you a story, so follow along with me for a minute. I want you to imagine you're driving down the highway. You have somewhere to be, people are expecting you, the car feels fine, you're moving right along. Then a small light comes on your dashboard. Nothing dramatic, it's just there. Something like the tire pressure light that becomes almost decorative at some point, but it's not a big deal. You notice it, you think, I'll just deal with that later, so you keep driving. The car still runs, it still gets you to where you need to go. It doesn't feel urgent, but then another light comes on. Still not catastrophic, just mildly annoying at this point, because honestly, who has time to pull over for something that's still technically working? So you turn up the radio, you crack the window down, you keep going, days pass, the lights don't go away. Then one day, the lights start blinking. And we all know blinking is different. Blinking means escalation. Blinking means, hey, I need your attention. This isn't just background noise anymore. You actually should pay attention. But you've made it this far. The car still hasn't stopped. You've driven on worse. You literally don't have time to deal with it today. So you keep going because you have somewhere you need to be. Until another light comes on. This time, the car sounds different. There's a smell you can't ignore, maybe even a little smoke. You might be Googling, can I drive if? And deep down, you really do know the answer. If you don't stop, the engine might actually blow this time. And when that happens, no one looks at the car and says, wow, what a weak vehicle. No one says, other cars could have handled that. And no one thinks, you weren't meant to be driving. They say, yeah, well, there were warning signs. And if I would have just listened. Pause here with me for a second, because this is the part most people miss. The breakdown wasn't sudden, it was preceded. The engine explosion wasn't random, it was signaled. Now here's where this becomes personal. Burnout works the exact same way. It doesn't show up all at once. It shows up as signals. Fatigue that lingers, irritability that feels out of character, disconnection from the things you once loved, that quiet thought of, there has to be more to life than this. And if you're capable, if you're reliable, if you're used to pushing through and doing it all, you have normalized those lights and have adapted to them. You call it a busy season, you call it stress, responsibility, adulthood. This is just what it takes. You keep driving until your body does the one thing it hasn't done yet. It forces you to stop. Burnout is not the engine blowing up. Burnout is every single light that came on before that, asking you to be noticed, asking to be recognized, asking to be answered. It's not a character flaw. It's not proof you can't handle it. It's information. And the earlier you learn how to read your dashboard, the less damage you will have to undo. That's why I created the Burnout Zones framework. because you don't jump from fine to fried overnight. You move through these stages, and most high performers live in one of them far longer than they realize. And before we talk about what to do in each stage, the real question is this: what zone are you actually in right now? Not from your best day, not from the version of you that performs well in public, from your Tuesday night self when nobody else is looking, from the drive home when no one else is watching. This is why I built the Burnout Zones. It's not to label you, it's to give you clarity, because clarity gives you choice. You can keep driving the way you've been driving, or you can adjust before something forces you to. If you are ready to look at your own dashboard, the link is below. And in the next video, we're going to talk about the zone most high-functioning people dismiss and why that's the one that quietly determines everything. Okay? If this feels personal, it's because it is. And you're not the only one who has felt it.